purchase your book?
I would say the best piece of advice that I've learned so far in my short career span is you have to have a reason why you're doing something. If you're starting a startup, if you're developing an app, if you are launching a YouTube channel, you have to ask, why are you doing this? Because if you don't have a reason why, that's like building a house on top of sand. It's just going to sink. You have to have a strong foundation, because that's the motivation that's going to keep fueling you every morning to wake up and to go in and attack. Because if you don't have that foundation, within a year or two, you're going to burn out. And you know, just that feeling alone, I know what it feels like, burning out. It hurts. And you have, you know, you feel like you failed. But also, another thing that I want to emphasize on is sometimes failure is not a bad thing. We often think that failing is it's a negative connotation. It has such a negative connotation. But failing, I see failing, it's a tool to success. Because the more you fail, the more you know you're not supposed to go in that direction, and it's leading you towards the right direction. If you fail at one thing, maybe you weren't meant to do that, and maybe you were meant to do something else. So I believe everyone in this world has a talent. They have a purpose. And sometimes, you know, in our society, we measure success by how many cars we have in our parking garage, how many zeros we have in our bank account, whether it's zero or a lot. But I measure my success on how happy I am. I'm happy I was able to retire my mother, which, you know, she was an immigrant after the Vietnam War, and she struggled her entire life, giving my family and I a substantial living. And I was able to retire her a few years ago. She's in San Francisco right now, so I'm going to see her later. That's success to me. And so I also think you have to ask yourself, how do you measure success? Why are you starting it? How do you measure your success? And what was the last one? And just be happy.
All right.
If you're not happy, you know what? It's not worth your stress.
No.
It's not worth your stress. And sometimes in life, like you have another option. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing or what you're being told. You can just go move somewhere else in another country, learn a new language. That's what Mark Zuckerberg did. He spoke Chinese. He can now work in China. And we have the internet. We have the power of the internet. You can learn so much more, and you can learn a new language and just start a company somewhere else.
All right, Michelle, thank you so much for your time. It's been